For Better Best Podcast, episode 3. It's your boy, we back, Charles Beloved. I'm here with my lovely, fantastic, analytical. I'm coming up with some new stuff every week. Mentally stimulating, also physically stimulating. Lovely wife, Queen Shereen. What's up, girl? What we doing?
What's up? Welcome to episode 3 of For Better or Best Podcast, where we balance the blessings with the chaos.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So you said you wanted to talk about something that happened on your ride here.
Oh, yeah. Let's start there. Shereen got me a ticket, y'all. I want to be very clear.
You were angry with me?
I very rarely get pulled over, like maybe twice in my life.
Lies?
Pulled over live?
Charles, you just got a ticket when I was pregnant.
Okay, that's the 2 times. That's the 2 times in maybe 11 years.
In 3 months.
Y'all, we were in HOV, and I was trailing Shereen to the studio. She goes over the 2 yellow lines. I just go over.
Let me not.
Similarly.
Let me not incriminate us.
But you give yourself a little bit more time to get over it. That's what we did.
Because you're trying to get over like 5 lanes of traffic.
5 lanes of traffic in like 1 mile. So nonetheless, I got a ticket today, but we here. Shereen's gonna pay it, and that's just what it is. So
am I? don't get booted waiting for me now. Yes, but we are here, and I'm sorry.
Against all odds.
I'm sorry you got a ticket, even though that officer pretended like he was gonna give you a warning.
Yeah, I thought he was being my friend. We were talking about R&B.
Yeah, and then he hit you with a "Here you go, brother."
Got hit that quota.
But today we are talking about weight. Dun, dun, dun.
Wow, I think people. This is gonna be probably our most listened to episode.
Big chocolate.
Because I don't think we talk about this with our friends. I mean, we talk about weight together
with
all the
each
time,
other all the time,
but we don't like talk about weight.
Well, I think
publicly.
Well, because weight is sensitive. Like people always even comment like, "Oh, you lost weight."
Yeah.
Even sometimes that is sensitive because someone could have lost weight due to stress because they're sick.
Yeah.
Like, so we even think like not saying you gain weight is okay, but I'm like, sometimes even losing weight is like a sore spot for people. So weight is super sensitive. It's something we talk about a lot in our home about ourselves, not about other people.
Right. Not about each other.
Yeah. But so we're going to talk about that today because we've been together for what? 10, 11 years, and our weight has gone up and down and up.
I mean, I've been between the 30 pound, which is a lot of weight, like a 30 pound,
over the years.
Yeah, over the years.
But you have been back in the gym, committed to
talk about it.
Committed to your walks. So you have been on it. I have been slacking, and you have been trying to drag me along with you because I've lost the baby weight, and you're like, "Yo, now let's get you in the gym so you can tone up and tighten up."
Let me interject there because you making it seem like I'm trying to force weight loss on you.
You're not.
And I don't want to get killed in the streets. So because Shereen has shared a desire, now I don't personally care.
No, you are amazing.
I want you to, you look good, girl. Like, let me just be very clear. But when I know that that's something that you're trying actively pursuing, that's when I'm like, I try to hold you accountable. Yeah, otherwise, like when you don't care, I'm like, I don't care either. But like if you do care, that's when I'm like, I care too. And I just want to.
I will say I've been up and down over the years. Yeah. I've been skinny Shereen, fluffy Shereen, in between.
I didn't really like skinny Shereen.
Well, you like them a little thick. Clearly, I like them a little thick too, so we're aligned. But I will say, even when I have gained weight, you have never made me feel like self-conscious about it, funny about it, post-baby, even when I was like, funny story, guys. This is how Charles knew I was pregnant before we knew I was pregnant.
Was this baby one?
Yes, with CJ. Yeah. You don't remember what you did?
Yeah, I remember.
So it's after work, I'm getting undressed. It's been a long day. And I was feeling like bloated. But I knew my period was about to come. I was like, wow, like I'm super bloated. So I'm getting undressed and Charles just staring at me. Looking me up and down, suspicion in his eyes. And I'm like, I know I look a little chunky. Like, you don't got to stare at me like that. He's like, okay. He starts backing off. I'm like, no, why are you looking at me like that? Do you think I'm pregnant or something? He's like, I didn't say anything. Okay. So I just knew I was not. I was like, my period's literally coming tomorrow. Leave me alone. And I was like, you want me to take a test? I'll take a test right now because the test's going to come back negative. And I took that test, and CJ's here
There we go.
because it was positive.
Yeah, 6 years
So
later.
why were you looking at me suspiciously? What was
Because
your trigger?
because your stomach looked a little different. Like there's a bloated or after a phenomenal meal stomach, and then it was like it was just shaping differently than I had gotten accustomed to
Over
seeing
the
you to
years.
that point. Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
Okay, so what has inspired you to get back into the gym? Because I
Yeah,
think I
man.
think you look great.
Thank you. You know what I mean? And God willing, and I think I've used this as a crutch. You know, I just recently, had the vasectomy, so I had to go get my health and all of that check. God willingly, I'm not like, even though I'm a big dude,
Mhm,
I'm pretty healthy of a guy. Like, I don't have high blood pressure,
mhm.
some other things. Like,
Yeah.
they check me regularly, and they be like, you got a decent bill of health. I absolutely, let me be clear. I absolutely need to lose weight. I'm a big, big dude. You know what I'm saying? But thankfully, I'm healthy to some
Mhm.
degree. And so, I've used that as a crutch, but I just have a number in my head. And I sometimes avoid the skip when I see that number. I'm like, oh, I gotta starve myself. This is wild. And I unfortunately had gotten to that number, and I like start off the year. I normally go through the sprint of like the year. I'm like refresh. I'm that person in the gym,
Mhm.
taking up the elliptical, taking up the stairmaster from the
Yes.
regular gym folks. Cause I'm like, okay, let me get that 20
But we
down before
almost
I hit the
April, and
road.
you still in the gym,
You know
so
what
I'm proud of
saying?
you.
And then, then I get back in the streets and I'm drinking and I'm eating and I'm just like cooking and I just move on. But what really inspired me, went to All Star,
Mhm,
and I don't even think I told you this. We got a printed picture out. I mean, I got fits off the All Star,
uh-huh.
and we had a printed picture out from the Bowls event. And I looked at it and I was like, is that what I look like? It's not even narcissistic
You
stuff.
didn't even say.
I'm gonna make sure. Shout out La Create Studios. Terrell
I
back there
thought
getting it
you
done.
looked so nice, and I know what picture you're talking about. I
Yeah,
thought,
no, I looked, my side profile was wild. And I said, nah, bro. That's what I look like in Salt Lake. I felt like I was big as Salt Lake. I was like, no, we gotta chill. So that's what really was like, okay, let me really, really lock back in. Then I rewatched episode 1 and I was like, there's some things we could start to get back right about. But I have struggled with my weight my entire life.
have you struggled with it though? Because I feel like, when did you actually start to? Let's go back to
Yeah,
childhood.
take me back. Take me
Because
back.
I don't feel like you've ever
Let me
shared.
unpack the traumas.
Yeah, I feel like you've never shared with me that your weight
Mhm.
was a struggle. I remember your first big weight loss, like sprint. We were actually friends at that time.
Okay, we could get to that, but let me start early.
But yeah,
So
pre that.
I was born big. I was a big baby.
Yeah.
I was in 2, 3, 4. I was in the husky sizes when everybody else was in regular.
Husky
And
was wild.
Huskies are wild, man. Yo, don't put my child in husky clothes.
Husky is.
That started the mental issues that I have about weight now. Don't call it husky.
But I feel like, and you told me when you told me about high school, you
Yeah.
got girls, you dated.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to go to high school. Let me walk everybody through. I'm here to walk people through. I wanted to talk about this because I'm sure people want to hear my perspective on it. So I was husky,
All right,
whatever.
husky boy.
And being at a Black family, obviously in the church,
Mhm.
I'm bigger people. So I was not an anomaly in
Yeah.
anything. And it was like, oh, he just big bone. And so I grew up thinking that was a real thing.
Be big.
That I was just like, oh,
That
my
your
bones
are bigger than other.
must just be bigger than other people. And I love food. Food is so good. I know how to cook. I am a phenomenal cook, in my opinion. Hopefully, you can attest to that.
You do know
And
how to
all of
cook.
my friends out there who get the beloved meals, like that is my thing. And it's part of like a celebratory
Mhm.
thing for me. Like when I'm happy,
Food is.
I want to eat. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
and when
want to
you're
celebrate
sad,
with food. When I'm sad,
you want
I want to
eat.
eat. So it's just like that has just been. I don't want to say a trauma. We're gonna get a
It's
psychiatrist, somebody on
no.
here. in
I
future
think I
episodes,
would
but-
definitely say food is your crutch.
Yeah, it's a crutch for me. You know what I mean? And I plan my life around food.
One
kinda.
time, Charles said, "I have a headache. I think some ice cream will make me feel better." I said, "Sir, what?"
No, it's just the cooling effect of ice cream. So, big boned, growing up, early years.
Mhm.
I get to elementary school and I'm starting to like girls. And there's one particular girl that I liked. She'll remain nameless. I would never do this girl like this. She probably don't even know. But back when people was able to like go to the coat room, catch a
Mhm.
little vibe, very light vibe. I'm talking like hold hands and stuff
Yeah.
like that. She was like, yo, and I was younger too. I skipped grades, so I
Yeah.
already had like some insecurities being younger than everybody.
everyone. Mhm.
She was like, if you lost weight, I would date you.
How old
I never
were
told you this.
No, how old?
Yes,
were
I did.
Okay.
Oh, now I'm doing the Shireen just exposing stuff on
Yeah.
podcasts. Okay.
How old were you?
I was in 3rd grade. So if I skip
So-
2 grades, it's what, like 8, 7?
Yeah. Wow, you were
Yeah,
young.
I was pretty young. So I
is
went
traumatic.
home and my mama throw down. Shout out to Tina throw down.
And you ain't eat?
I was turning the food away and she was like, boy, what's going on? I was like, trying to lose weight. So
I'm on a diet.
so shorty can give me the vibes. I wanted to hold hands in the courtroom and stuff. And Shanti was like, son, don't you ever
Change.
let nobody, don't you ever change it. And I said, you know what? I actually am a decent person. I'm
Give me that plate of food.
Give me that mostaccioli, Chantel. Give me the extra palm. And so I overlooked that, but I think that developmentally made me lean into other things like my personality, like, being a funny
You were the
person.
funny big guy.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, it's worked for me. I found my niche, but when I was on EPBK's podcast, and then we like posted or something, I was talking about being a perfectionist. Somebody in her comments after was like, no disrespect, but like if you such a perfectionist, like, no, why are you making that face? I didn't finish the story. She was like, why are you not like seeking perfection in your health? And it was, BK had my back. She popped off with the girl. I want to be very clear about that. But I was like, damn, she got a good point. Like, I just avoided it.
See, no.
No, it was fair. I thought that was fair. I thought it was a fair comment.
I don't think that's fair because her comment was rooted in fat phobia. She's saying that because you're bigger, that you don't care about your health. And my thing is health and weight, there's no direct correlation. You can be skinny and be unhealthy. And to your point, you go to the doctor every time you get a clean bill of health. Yeah, you could stand to lose a few pounds, but can't we all? So I don't like comments like that.
I'm saying, I have an obsessive personality. I've shared that on this platform. I say I just like go hard at anything that I can. So it's just like because it's challenging for me, avoided doing this hard work. I lean into things that I'm good at and going extremely
but that's
deep
everyone
into it. You know what I mean? And so that was elementary. We unpacking this now. I hope that you enjoy it.
I'm gonna go back to that that post and find that girl and report her page.
Oh my God. Move on, beloved. And so we talked about high school and then like us dating, where I did like my first big major weight loss as an adult. So I was recently single. I had the ex-girl and then you. Yeah. In pursuit of you, I was just like, when the girl broke up with me, I was like, okay, I gotta make some lifestyle changes. And it was my Stella moment. I was 2 a day in, going absolutely nuts. And I was my smallest ever in my adult life.
Charles, if you listen to previous episodes, you heard that we did not have any work to do in this particular job.
Yeah.
So Charles took up going to the gym. Yeah. I was happy for him. At that point in my life, I was much smaller than I am now. So I was like, good for you. I'm not going to nobody's gym on my lunch break. So I'm going to eat lunch. And Charles will go to the gym and then he would come back and eat lunch.
I would eat my lunch. Homemade lunch.
The lunch was romaine lettuce with salad dressing.
I admit,
I was
that was it.
Sir, that's like not even healthy. You could get some grilled chicken. He's like, nah, I'm trying to lose weight.
I'm on it. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm trying to bounce back.
This path to weight loss is the best path to weight loss.
Yeah, but it was intermittent fasting, just green.
Literally, you weren't eating and you were working out. That's probably why you lost the weight crazy. So fast.
I went pretty crazy there.
And then he said, if I lose 20 pounds.
Would you kiss me? Is that what I said?
Yes.
Y'all was so problematic.
Would you kiss me?
Yo, you remember everything.
I said, what you do losing 20 pounds got to do with me?
Listen, I needed some incentive. I was going to put her picture up on the elliptical. It's just like,
not my problem.
Like stare at it.
Not my problem.
You weren't with it. You weren't with it. So
I was not. So has the number on the scale gone down from your
Absolutely.
Oh God number?
Absolutely. For me to have been going as hard as I have been like last 2.5 weeks, I wish it was a little lower, but I've been doing intense like weight training as well.
You're building muscle.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but I'm feeling good. And I think when I plateau, that's when I'm gonna try and introduce a trend. I just feel way more motivated to like, okay, make this a consistent part of my life. Like I focused on so many other things and those things at the end of the day, what value does it bring if I'm not here, right?
Yeah.
So just like, I'm trying to lean into, doing more on the health side this year. We're just gonna see. But again, like even Shireen has mentioned to you guys, like there's certain things I don't talk about on social media. I'll be in the gym literally 5 days a week for like the last few weeks. I don't post it, you know what I mean? Because I know at some point I'm probably gonna fall off the wagon and I don't wanna see the comment. You know what I'm saying? So I just keep that from being shared. I just make that an individual journey versus,
But
me
you're
posting publicly
you're
about
putting
it.
in the effort, and I
Yeah.
think that is half of the battle sometimes,
Hmm.
getting up and going to the gym even when you don't want to. I think you're very good at that. You push me because 'cause you're like, "Let's go on a walk before you start meetings."
Yeah.
And then I wake up and I'm a little sleepy and you're like, "We're going." I'm like, "Really?" Because if you'd have said no, I would have definitely
Y'all,
come
it's
back
a
with
real
you.
walk too. Like walk just seemed like it's a play. Like
No, it's
we
like
in
a
the hills,
2-mile walk.
2.5 miles, like
Our
kind of
neighborhood's
more like a hike.
Yeah, our neighborhood's very hilly,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
half of it's a hill. Sometimes we take Carter, so we're also pushing the stroller
Yeah,
up the
man.
hill. It's rough. But for me, I think I have had 2 of your beautiful children,
Yes.
and, when I think about the number I was when we met, I'm like
Hmm.
40 pounds from
Hmm.
that number. Now everyone's like, "Oh, Shreen, you look great." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you everyone for the compliments, but I think all of us, we're our own biggest critic."
Hmm.
So I look at old pictures of myself and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Wow, I thought I was fat in that
Yeah.
picture. I wish I
Yeah.
could go back to that fat." 'Cause that's a different fat than this fat. But I said it before, you phenomenal at motivating me, but
Hmm.
also giving me grace and
Hmm.
meeting me where I'm at and still making me I can never say my husband made me feel insecure about my weight. Um,
But you fine and like, I'll love you when your hair turn. We could music soul child.
the
I'm gonna
great
always throw a song
they already
out.
coming in, so
I still want you if you come to R&B house party. I might serenade. I might serenade you live. But I mean, I genuinely mean that. And I've seen, and it's something that happens with guys when you all go through, expecting a pregnancy,
Mhm.
right? It's the most beautiful thing. And because we're perfectly fine, like seeing that transition puts our mind, so to speak, and I won't speak for all men, but put my mind in a whole different perspective and view of you.
Mhm.
And like you only got more beautiful. You know what I mean? As your body continued to transform. And even like after it's like how you just shrink as you breast. It's like it's insane, but it's like it makes the weight like not a thing. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Now, again, we gotta do better. And I'm on this podcast and be like, yo, I'm saying it publicly for the first time. It's like, yo, we can do better.
No, we can't, and I think we enable one another
Oh,
because
absolutely.
we
I'm a
both
dessert guy. Now, I'm not even good at baking. That's probably the one thing that I could probably develop more. We're gonna do the Kirkendall kitchen at some point.
but I'm good at baking.
But she's good at baking. And I'm like, I'm a dessert person. Every night I need something sweet.
Every
I need something
night,
sweet. And it's
y'all.
so, I'm like a cookie, a little mini
I'm
Snicker,
talking about,
peach,
like
something. Like I need a
he
sweet.
won't dinner will be done, the kids are sleeping, he'll just look at me like, "We got anything sweet in the kitchen?"
I just need something sweet. Oh, that's not that. Can I just get something sweet? Bridget, don't lie.
I'm
I
like
need something sweet. Some of y'all out there gotta have a sweet tooth.
No,
Like,
it's and I was like, this is how I know sugar is an addiction
yeah,
because literally
yeah.
I was never like that before. Charles is a sweet person, but
Mhm.
I am not.
Yeah,
And I wasn't like that before I met him. But there are
yeah.
some days after I eat, I'm like, I won't feel satisfied
Mhm.
until
Like
I have a little bit of sugar.
I'm going into Mastro's dinner with you, trying
Thinking
to eat
about
light so that I can make sure I get the
Dessert.
butter cake because I got to get the butter cake before we leave.
Yeah, if you've never been to Mastro's, there's a location in New York and LA.
And a lot of other places.
Yeah, the
Get
butter
you a butter
cake,
cake.
phenomenal.
Insane.
But yeah, so I am post baby 2, post
Mhm.
my body just
Let me ask you a question. How different did your body feel, or like did you have like a template for this process post CJ, and like what you feel like is different with Carter? Also, 5-year gap as well.
Yeah. So with CJ and Carter, I gained the same amount of weight. I
Mhm.
think CJ I gained like 49 pounds. Carter I gained like 53 pounds.
Mhm.
So really pretty
Yeah,
much the
yeah.
same. I think with CJ, I was so I don't want to say concerned, but if you go on my Instagram, you'll see pictures. I carry very big. Like
Mhm.
people regularly asked if I was having twins, which is rude as hell. I'm like, no, I'm just big as hell. Thank you. I'm aware. But I carried so big. So with CJ, it was almost in my head. I'm like, where will this stomach go once I have this baby? Like, this is a lot of belly, and will it ever go down? With CJ, it definitely went down, but I will say when people, and it's not for all women, but for some women, like after it went down, I was like, my body's never gonna be the same as it
Mhm.
was before I had this
Mhm.
baby. Like just looking at it, I'm like, it
Mhm.
looks different, it feels different. Like I'm a little more squishy.
Mhm.
I'm like, I think even if I lost all this weight, it still won't be the exact same
Mm.
body that I had before this baby. And that's a tough pill to swallow,
Mm.
right? Like knowing that you'll never go back to a body that you
Yeah.
loved
Yeah.
and having to adjust to something different. And for me, like because I carried so big and I had C-sections, like I have like some dimpling and just the skin is not as tight as it
Mm.
was. And then doing it again with Carter and it
Yeah.
kind of stretching the skin again. So for me personally, I do want to lose the weight, but I told Charles this before we even got together. I want liposuction and I want a tummy tuck. So that's
I'm not making it. I want to make sure I'm not making a face. Your body, your choice. I want to be very clear. Anything that you want to do, I'm not getting killed on the internet no more. You can do, and I support that.
Mhm.
But I just want to say you look beautiful, irregardless of that. But if
Thank
that is
you.
something that you want to do for yourself,
And I will say
that's your temple.
I'm
do
not
it.
doing
Go
it.
crazy. I don't care.
I love you, but it's definitely not for you. It's for me. For when I look in the mirror, I
Yeah.
want to, and it's not to say I don't love what I see now,
Mhm.
but I'm like, there's certain changes that I want to
Yeah.
make.
Yeah.
And I know some people might say like, oh, it's because, she lives in LA and
Mhm.
clearly LA is getting to her head. You
Yeah.
can attest that
Yeah.
I've been saying this before.
Yeah, like that is all. You always were like, yo, I'm gonna do a little.
After I have kids, if things fall out of place, I'm gonna go get them put back in place. And I go ahead.
And how do you feel about like being in LA now for years? We have friends, there's people out there that are like, I feel like the biggest person in some of these rooms. And
Mhm.
like, how does it feel like being in LA? And as a guy, as somebody who also has a big personality, like I know I walk into a room, I'm big, but like I'm also a big personality and it doesn't matter as much for guys. So like,
Yeah.
how does that feel for you in those rooms?
Yeah, men have it easy. Like y'all, no one cares. I think for women, I can't. So I will say it's very different being in a place like LA where
Mm.
and not that I'm looking for attention, but where like men don't even look at you because
Mm.
I am the biggest person in the room sometimes. And I don't even feel like I'm that big, but I definitely feel looked over in a place like LA.
Mm.
Whereas like I was in New York this weekend, literally the minute I'm in JFK and I can already feel men looking at me.
Okay, so you can't go to New York no more. Is what I'm hearing. so he's got to kick your ass out. I'm sorry. Let me chill. I don't want to get killed right now. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can travel however you want.
And I'll probably get killed too. They like, look at Aisha Curry looking for attention from men, and she got a whole husband. But I understood and so even talk about that, I understood what Aisha Curry was saying. Like, it's hard to feel invisible. Like, I'm not saying that I want another man, but it's nice to know you still got it. It's nice for a man to you get a little checkout. You're like, okay.
Yo, mama, you was in New York. Yo, ma, what's good? What she doing?
All right,
I'm not from New York.
You don't got to do the New York stereotypes. They don't all sound like that. But yeah, no, for me, and then you look at you see men who are with women, and the women are super petite, super slim, look like they've gotten work done.
Mhm.
I know that's one thing I told you. I'm like, I don't want to. My goal is not to have this perfect body.
Mhm.
My goal is to like just tighten up. I want people to look at me and be like, she looks nice. I don't want to look like I went under the knife. I'm not striving for perfection. I'm striving for happiness.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know my other friends who live in LA have said it too, especially being a Black woman. They're like, yeah, men don't talk to me out here. My friends, they say they go back east and they like, the energy's completely different. You go to Houston, the energy's completely different.
Yeah.
Because men there appreciate a woman that looks like us. And I think in a place like LA, it can be hard where you feel invisible, where you feel like I need to do something because I'm not as pretty as someone else. So I think that's one thing that's been hard because I noticed it and I'm very confident. Obviously, I think I'm beautiful. You think I hear it from you all the time. So it doesn't take a toll on me as much, but I can't imagine if I was single, it would be probably really hard to date in a place like LA where you feel like you are passed over because of the way you look. And especially if you're happy with the way you look and you don't want to change it. It's like, I don't want to be 150 pounds. That's not that for me personally, that will never be a goal. I'll never want to be that small. So it's like, dag, like me liking these thighs and these hips, like, but it's not enough for people here. So yeah, I have been trying to one, give myself grace with this pre-baby body, be
Yeah.
kind and gentle to myself because
Mm-hmm.
my body did an amazing feat
Yeah.
carrying 2 children into this world.
Mm-hmm.
But it can be hard.
Yeah.
I remember getting on the scale after I had Carter, and Carter was 9 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, I was like, so if he was 9 and then you lost the placenta, you should
I
be
mean,
down. You
you should
should
be
be down
down 10 when you
15
give birth. When you give,
pounds.
wow.
And I got on the scale and was only down 9 pounds. And I remember being disappointed. And I was like, girl, what's wrong? You literally had a baby 2 days
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah. You gotta give
Like
yourself some
you
grace.
you can't put that much pressure
Mm-hmm.
on yourself. So even sometimes I have to talk myself off the ledge. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's okay. Like
Yeah.
you're okay. You just had a baby. You still got the baby pooch. It's not
Mm-hmm.
gonna go nowhere for a while. So yeah, it's hard. It's a hard thing, and I think it's even harder when you're a woman in a world where Instagram shows us perfection
Mm.
all the time.
Yeah.
And I remember when Rihanna was performing and we were trying to figure out, is she pregnant?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
and I was like, well, if she got a little belly, y'all, she just had a baby. But then it started looking real round. And I was
Yeah.
like, I think that's a pregnancy belly. But I was like, if it wasn't, I was like, that's okay too.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Wow, you got that off your chest.
Yeah. It's a lot. Weight is hard.
Yeah, yeah. And again, that's why I think that it's not necessarily talked about even amongst friends, or
Mhm.
unless you like share that that's something that you're comfortable talking about. It's not a topic that people necessarily approach. So
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, even though I'm not posting my workouts, if you want to check in, be like, yo, Chuck, like you want to go to the gym, like let me know.
Mhm.
But I'm not big in the group, right? I'll make it an individual journey. Like
No,
I'll
you
go, I will
don't.
share my stats. We can share on the Apple Watch, but when I'm in there to get to it. And
Yeah.
also,
You won't
it's
work
not
out with
pretty
me.
for me. It's not pretty for me. Like, I don't need the Equinox. I did think about getting Equinox when we first moved to LA. I was catching a little LA vibe, and I was like, let me get the warm towels. But like, I'm a Planet Fitness workouter. Like,
Mhm.
I am let me be in the garage on the Peloton, like going crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, it's to get it done. It is something that you just have to do. It's not like something that I'm like trying to show off.
So when we were boyfriend and girlfriend,
Yeah.
I remember telling someone that like I'll ask Charles if I look fat and he'll tell me if I do. And they were
Oh,
no.
okay. I'm
I
listening.
mean, you're honest with me.
Yeah.
And I remember they were taken aback. They were like, you ask him that? And he says yes.
Yo, you trying to get me canceled?
And I was like, well, yeah. I was like, why wouldn't I want him to say yes? I was like, he's gonna say what other people are already thinking. So
you gotta walk me through this. I need more details because this is a cancelable moment that we going through.
It's not. I think we have built our relationship on a foundation of
Trust.
honesty and
Okay.
trust. And I know if you're telling me that something on me looks out of place, or if I'm wearing something that is not flattering.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you that. Yeah.
You're
That's a fact. That's a
saying
fact.
it.
I'll be like, nah, that's not the one.
Yeah, you're saying it from a place
Mhm.
of love
Yeah,
and a
yeah.
place of when we walk out together, I know what the
How you
image,
want to show up in the world.
and how you want to
Absolutely.
be perceived, and you're not going to be perceived
Yeah.
that way. So to me, I want to ask you,
Okay.
why do you feel comfortable telling me that? Because I know a lot of other
Mm.
women, we see the trope of the wife asking the husband, do I look fat? And the husband's like, no. But when I ask, I want
Yeah.
you to say, yes, I'm not living.
Yeah, I think you just kind of got to know your partner, and I know you, and I think I've established the foundation that I do think you're beautiful, and I
Mhm.
genuinely do not care about your 10, 15 scale
Mhm.
that you have lived in, right? So it's just about how you want to show up in the world, and if these pants or this shirt or whatever the case may be, even like you're up top, like I know that you don't like to necessarily have them out. So I'm just like, if you ask me a question, I'm gonna answer it from a lens of how I know you want to be seen and perceived in the world. So
Yeah.
that's
Sometimes though, I do be asking. I'm like, I hope he says no, and you be like, yes. I'm like, you be like, what?
But I mean, I sometimes feel that too. Like I'll post a fit or something, and they're like, oh, somebody give me the eyes. Oh, you slimming out, and I'm like, I got on the scale. I'm not. It was just a good angle. Damn, son, I be mad. I'm like, oh, yeah, I probably should put in some work. You know what I mean? So it happens to me too.
I will say, I love you, but when you start working out, you get really annoying.
Oh
and
my God. You don't have to go on the pillow talk.
no,
Now.
no,
What do I do?
So here's the thing. I will work out. When Charles knows I get
Oh.
committed, I'm eating salads. I'm not getting
You
tempted.
want it.
I'm
Yeah, when
getting
you-
my
when you
full
get into it, you
workout
get
in.
into it.
And I will get on the scale and I will be down half a pound. Charles literally eats one salad and is like, I'm down 3.
I got a lot of
Woo,
leeway.
I feel good.
I have a
I'm
lot
like,
of leeway. So
bro,
3 for me is the 0.5 for you. You know what I mean? But
bro, how you down 3? We went out yesterday. I didn't even drink. Meanwhile, you have 5 margaritas.
don't push it. You wilding. That's not a fact. But you know,
But
I just
no.
think this year
We're
let's try
gonna
and do a little bit better. That's why we doing episode 3. Hopefully, as they watch the season, they're seeing the progress.
we shrink.
Maybe may or may not be a surgeon associated with that, but hopefully y'all see some progress.
And we encourage y'all.
Yeah.
Get back on your fitness
Yeah.
journey. I think we're all getting older.
Mhm.
We could all, even if the goal is not to lose weight, I think especially in a pre-COVID world where a lot of us were working from home,
Yeah.
we could all stand to move our bodies more because we know exercise directly correlates with disease, with
Mhm.
high blood pressure,
Yeah.
with diabetes, and
Yeah.
all those things
Yeah.
run rampant in the Black community. So
We
even
gotta
if
do better.
even if the goal is not weight loss, the goal should be to move your body just a little bit every single day. So we're gonna do that. I'm charging all of you guys to do that as well. Move with us, and hopefully we'll see some results as the weeks and the years progress.
Episode 3, the Better Best Podcast.
We weighing in.
All right, let's get it.